with a brand new video. And as you can see, my topic here tonight is about training your thoughts. And the conclusion I came to, your thought, I should say, having positive thoughts is a muscle. Is a muscle like any other muscle, has to be developed. Strengthen your thought. Strengthen your thoughts, purify your thoughts, control your thoughts. Thought is like any other muscle, has to be developed. This means you must work on it day in, day out. Why? Because we do not want to be speaking negatively. Oh, so Christy, these days when you come on, I have to look at your name because this Christy Loomis 6146 is a little throw me off a little bit sometimes. So when we are talking about training your thoughts, it has to be trained. Is like going to the gym. You have to train your muscle. You have to train your mind. This thing here is around training. Why? Because we need a healthy body. That's why we go to the gym. We need a healthy mind. That's why we consume certain materials. What we put in here is what is going to come out, and we want to be we want to be aware of that. Same thing. You eat a whole bunch of garbage, you might get sick. So, training your thoughts. So, when we speak positively. We do not want to speak negatively, and we do not want to fake speaking positive either. This is why it has to be trained and developed, right? You cannot control your mind. You can train your mind to work for you to a large degree. But I don't know if you could ever control your mind 100%, unless you're one of those gurus who spent the last 40 years, working on controlling their minds. Then yes. But as for right now, what you can control is your thoughts. You can control your thoughts and you can purify your thoughts. And this is what we are working on. So don't forget, folks, while you are here, to like and subscribe and comment down below. This helps out the video to get out into the YouTube universe, so more people can see these videos. This information needs to be spread, all right? And I depend on you, the viewers, to help my video to go out there into the universe, all right? So I appreciate y'all for liking and subscribing and commenting, and that helps the video a lot. All right. So we're talking about training your thoughts. It is part of the this is what will keep us out of trouble a lot. It makes us do not say the wrong thing to others and get these people all rolled up or pissed off, and then they ended up do not liking us anymore. We don't want that. So we want to working on speaking not just positively, but also speak in a healthy way where we don't use our thoughts to hurt other people, right? So anger is something that we do not want to to take over our lives, and then we can we're having trouble having friends, we're having trouble in our relationships, we're having trouble at work because of the anger taking us over, and we want to prevent that from happening, prevent anger from taking over our lives. We want to prevent that from happening. So Atlanta. Oh, okay. I know the guy you're talking. I heard that before. Somebody said that to me before. Somebody said that to me before. Yeah. So, training our thoughts is one of the best. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Me too. Same here. I have been down that road, and it's a road that I will never want to go back on. And I understand that I picked up that habit from other people while observing them, and I see how they behave, and I tend to behave the same way too. Not that I want to, but I think it was cool. It was a stupid thing to do, and I learned my lesson. So once I have overcome the anger in a large way, sometimes I might get a little pissed off here and there, but for the most part, no. I don't go out there yelling and barking at people who are being angry at them for eons. I don't. And this is why I say, I noticed there are some things I was doing, and training my thoughts was was one thing that I set out to do. Not understanding full well what I was doing, was later on I realized that, oh, from training my thoughts, this is the result I got. I have better friends now. My relationships are healthier with the people who I surround myself with, the people who I engage with, people who I um, associate with as well. So there we go with the so next time we are going to so I said, anytime I get a hold of how to deal with the anger, I promise I'm going to conquer it, and I will let it go. And I will never allow it to take over my life again. And that's exactly what I did there. Oh god, this guy is back. What the hell is going on with him? um what the heck is wrong with this guy, right? So training your thoughts. Now, this is something that I have been working on here recently. And I mean, I've been working on it for a while. But it's recently here, it dawned down on me. And I realized that I need to take it a step further. And just like how I go to the gym daily, and I run daily. Um, and yeah, I suspect you are Sina or Sina. I suspect you are. That's why I didn't pay too much attention. Yeah, because this is a very important subject here, and I just want my fellow viewers to enjoy what I'm doing here. Hey, William Paul, appreciate you, man. I'm happy to see you here. Thank you for showing up. My pleasure. Yeah, right on. Yeah, I know. I know, Sina. I know you were. I was. I didn't take it personal at all. All right. So thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you. So, assalamu alaikum. Inshallah. Uh, so, recently here, I start to take this um, a bit more serious and with more intensity about the training your thoughts, because I did to a degree, but I don't believe I'm doing it intensely as I wanted to. And this is why I put it into my daily training as well, because I train my body every day. I go to the gym, through lifting weights and running. I train my mind too. Wake up in the morning early to do that, to get that going, you know. And now I said, no, now I look, I'm like, okay, I can train my thought as well. And I noticed some years ago when I you know didn't have control of my thoughts, and I didn't have control of my mind. My thoughts was running wild, my mind was running wild, and I just say stuff and I think stuff, and it just wasn't. The results were just terrible results. I got back. The feedback was horrible. Okay, and I decided to start to work on that. But now is I want to take this a step further, creating healthy thoughts. Just like how I create healthy relationships, I create a healthy body, I create a healthy mind. I also create a healthy vocabulary as well. My subconscious mind has been reprogrammed. So now I could say I probably have a healthy subconscious mind. I don't know, because I can see I cannot see the subconscious mind, but I can hear the thoughts in my head, and I know that I have become a better person over the years by working on myself, and I know exactly how I did it. So, for those of you out there who are struggling, especially with anger, resentment, and bitterness, what happened to you in the past, you know, I'm not here to bash you or anything like that. This is not our goal here. Whatever you have done wrong in the past, your behavior and all of those, you are gonna have to go apologize to those to those folks later on if you chose to do so. But right now, we're not gonna focus on any of that. All right, we are gonna just stay here and figure out how to get from where we are to where we need to go. And you're talking about saving your own life here. This is what's gonna happen when you are um, when you are on the journey. I mean, when you are in that state where you are just angry and bitter, it can cause a lot of problems for yourself and also for other people. You can hurt them, they can hurt you, and this is a problem for you right now, dealing with a whole bunch of resentment and anger and hatred and so forth, bitterness. You know, so whoever hurt you in the past, that was sad, and these are things that probably should never happen. But as for right now, moving forward, and also whoever you hurt, that is sad as well, and you cannot go back and fix any of those. And now it's time to really take a good look at where you are and where you want to go, and how you're gonna approach. I mean, how do you want to see your new life that you think of and you dream of? This is not going to be done by luck or chance or accident. You're going to have to deliberately and intentionally start to do the work. Your thought is creative. So whatever you say is creating your reality. It might not happen right away, but it might happen in the future, what you say. So your thought is creative. And this is why you're going to have to control your thought. So direct it to how you want to see your future. And this is when training comes in. So certain things you just don't say, certain words you just don't use anymore. You're trying to eliminate as much of the negative words, sentences and phrases from your vocabulary as much as you possibly can, because you need to create a healthy vocabulary, a positive vocabulary, right? And this is when you put yourself into, you put your thoughts to the training. And this is when the repetition comes in. You're gonna have to do the reps. All right. So in the beginning, we're gonna have to sound like some people in the beginning. That's perfectly fine. The affirmations, prayers, quotes, I should say positive affirmations, prosperity affirmations, prayers, quotes, personal development. We're gonna have to sound like these guys for a while. But later on, that will change. It's gonna come into our own words, and then when we talk, we're gonna sound something like them, but it's gonna be in our own words. So that means we're gonna have to train and do the reps day in, day out. Now, here is something that I want you to understand here. Do not use affirmations, prayers, quotes, anything of the sort. Personal development, don't use them for money. That's not what they are there for. They are just there to clear the blockages, really. So that way you can start living a more smoother life. You don't get yourself into a whole bunch of problems like you used to. Once I got on this journey here, I think it was Bob Proctor was one of the first person I heard. He said, when you started on this journey here, when you start to, get into this material here and start to study, he said the trouble becomes less and less. And that's exactly, and I can say for the past couple of years, I haven't had too many issues. One here, one there, probably, but I haven't had too many. All right. So every once in a while, I might have a little, issue or so. But for the most part, no. And now I am much more aware of it now. So whenever stuff comes up and I about to get angry, I learn how to control that, because that has to be controlled. It is a low level way of behaving, and it makes you look bad, right? and people don't trust you anymore. They don't want to be your friends, and it's just not how we want to behave. So we have to take this into consideration and seriously start to start to really do the work. So control our thoughts and purify our thoughts, because you see, we cannot control our minds, but we can control our thoughts, and we can purify our thoughts. So the way how you talk, if you this that I will do this, blah blah blah. You hear people say these things all the time. We do not want to talk like that. When it's time for us to defend ourselves, sure, we are going to, because you cannot stand up and let somebody just beat you up. You can't do that. You're gonna have to, warrior call 911. That's what I would do in that, because I am not gonna let anybody come ruin my life. You know what I mean? So I just prefer to just call the cops and they come handle you, because I don't have time for that stuff. Okay. But if I'm in a situation where I have to fight, I'm going to do that because I have to defend myself. That's it. You know. So control your thoughts, purify your thoughts. This is something that we can do. Our thoughts need to be healthy, and we don't speak ill of other people. It's easy to talk bad about others. Very easy. We don't want to do that. So control your thoughts, purify your thoughts. We need healthy thoughts. So we're going to train our thoughts. And like I said, the materials that I use to train my thoughts. Okay. Personal development materials, positive affirmations, prosperity affirmations, prayers, and quotes. These are things that I studied day in, day out, because I want to talk a certain way. My thoughts are creative, so whatever I said now might happen to me in the future. All right? Do not use these materials that I just name out for money or anything of the sort. Don't do it. If you need money, you need to come up with a product or a service or some form of entertainment to entertain other people. You have to learn to solve a problem for somebody. That is how you earn money. You cannot use affirmations for money. Affirmations are there to just remove the blockages. But I also can use those same materials for other purposes, right? And the purpose that I use it for is to train my thoughts, because I want to talk a certain way. I don't want to speak in an angry way. It doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do the other person any good. Nobody gets help from me speaking in an angry tone, in an angry manner. And I do not want to walk around angry either. All right. So the best time I think to get into training your thoughts, the best time I believe is early in the morning. Hardly anybody is up. And that's the time when you are more at peace and quiet. And you are doing the work, so that way you can, you know, so that way when you go out into the world, Alexis, so that way when you go out into the world, hey, William Paul, when you go out into the world and you are interacting with other people, it must be positive. Your interactions must be positive. Negative interactions, I'm not sure why anybody would want to put themselves in that situation. I would not want to be dealing with people who are hostile and aggressive, and they are angry, and they're just looking to hurt somebody with their anger. I don't want to be near anybody like that. I don't have time for a person like that either. I don't want them anywhere near me. Um, Not my cup of tea. All right. So you know there are some things that you must do, because you see, you cannot do this one time and then expect to get good results. It's just not going to work. I want you to be consistent with this. So it's best for you to develop consistency. That too is a muscle, which has to be developed, by the way. Commitment. When you say you are going to do something, you're going to have to do it. Today is day 4 466 days since I've been running and working out, right? It's a commitment I make to myself. I will just quit if I'm not committed to it. And I need to be disciplined. So when it looks like it's raining or it's snowing or it's cold outside, I am still going to do it. This is a part of my lifestyle. This is how I live now, right? I live in a fit, healthy body. Okay. The next move right now, I said, you know, I'm going to train my thoughts and develop healthy thoughts because this is part of my lifestyle now. I speak healthy. All right. So I'm going to have to train my thoughts to make sure that I maintain speaking healthy. So the people who I interact with won't have to get up feeling a certain way about me because I said things that hurt them. All right. And so to avoid hurting them, I have to train myself, train my thoughts. So what leaves my mouth, it doesn't affect that person in a negative way. All right. And this is what we're working on. Your thoughts are creative. You have to get that one into your mind, into your head, right? Creative thought. Your thoughts are creative. So whatever you say, whatever you say is creating your reality. So watch how you speak, right? Watch what you say. It can get you in trouble, and it can get you in trouble with the wrong person, and you don't want to do that. So we want to avoid that at all costs. And this is why we're gonna have to train. It's like going into any um, battle. If you're gonna play sports, for that, that's a battle as well. If you're gonna go into the boxing ring, you're gonna have to train. We have to interact with people every single day. Why not train our thoughts so when we go out there into the world, we are effective when we are communicating with other people, interacting with other people. Everybody talks about training, and it's fine because I do it. You train your body, you train your mind. I do those things too. But oftentimes, you never really hear anybody talk about, training your thoughts. That's one way how you navigate the high seas of life, the roads of life. That's one way how you do it. You are in less problems, less trouble. Those potholes that's in the road of life, you don't fall in them. You take a different street, or you can go around them, but I personally will prefer to take a different street. I do not want the problem anywhere near me. I don't want to deal with it, right? So this is where we are right now on the journey. This is my, you know, my next big challenge I'm giving myself. My next big goal is to train my thoughts so that way I can interact with people in the most positive way as I possibly can, the most healthy way as I possibly can. So when I left those people, they don't look at me as that, as a person who just hurt them and say the wrong thing to them. We have to talk to people, we have to interact with people, and when we do, I'm not talking about faking it. A lot of us are like that. We are chameleons. We said one thing, but the way how we feel is not matching up. The two doesn't match up. How we feel and how we speak should match up. You should be authentic and you should be real. Now, I get some people authentic and real, meaning they can say whatever they want and say it however they want. That's okay. But the consequence that comes with that is too much of a price. And I don't want to learn from pain. I want to learn from my joys and pleasures. I think I have learned enough from pain already, and I'm not trying to do that anymore, right? So I will do the work to rid myself of the troubles. That way I don't have to spend the time apologizing, spend the time thinking about the pain that I have caused other people. It takes up too much of my brain space. And I'm gonna think about this thing here for I don't who knows how long, right? Meanwhile, If I was in a positive state of mind, I could be thinking about how am I going to achieve my goals, my missions, my purpose here on earth. How am I even going to, get these things worked on and go help other people to better themselves as well. So no, I don't want to get myself involved in any type of problems, and I'm not going to put myself in that situation. Training my thoughts is one of the best thing I have ever done. That has helped me tremendously. Where people want to be around me, people want to be my friend, they want to communicate with me and talk and have conversations with me. All right. So the best time, like I said, is early morning. Now, this can be hard at first because there is repetition involved. Why we have to do the reps? Well, when you were a baby, from age 1 to 7, you didn't have to learn by repeating things over and over and over. Things was repeated to you, and you observe those people doing the same actions, saying the same things over and over and over and over and over. So you picked up by observing them, because at the time your conscious mind didn't come into being yet. It was just your subconscious mind. So everything just goes straight in. And you learn by observing the people around you at that age. So they have all the rules and laws and regulations, and how you talk to your doctor, how you talk to your teacher, Mrs. Novak, how you talk to your mom and dad, how you talk to your brothers and sisters, how you talk to your uncle who comes back from the military. All these things. You watch your parents push the sign at the crosswalk, the pedestrian, all these things. You learn them by observing. You didn't have to do a whole bunch of sit down and do a whole bunch of repetition. Now you are not age 7. You are not a baby anymore. You pass 7 years old. Hopefully you are on here. Everything you learn after age 7, you learn it through repetition. So, for instance, driving your car. When you get into the car, you didn't just drive it one time. You have to keep on driving the car, keep on driving the car. And some of you are good drivers. So now you don't have to look at your windshield, look out your mirrors anymore, and look up at your, the overhead glass to see what's going on behind you. You are like comfortable on the road now. Smooth. It's easy for you now. You don't have to. Your steering wheel is not, shaking, and you are not nervous anymore. It's become smooth because you practice driving the car so many times. Same thing here. When you're gonna train your thoughts, you're gonna have to do the reps. What you say and how you say it is huge. I know we know these things, we just don't practice them. We know that our thoughts can get us in trouble, what we say, but we say things and get in trouble all the time because we are not practicing to get good at it, to get good at speaking to other people. I'm not talking about you using words and big phrases and big words and sentences no, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about those are good in a business setting. Yes, you need to know, if you are a leader in your field and so forth. Yes, you need to know how to speak so you can command those people and get them to do things that you want them to do, and also things that's going to benefit them as well. You have to know those things, sure. But when we are having regular interactions with the people from our jobs, your wife and children, husband as well and children, your friends, co-workers, people who you meet out in the street there, your neighbors and so forth, we want to show up there, prepare and ready. We are trained to the point where I don't piss off my neighbor. I don't say the wrong thing, or I don't say the wrong thing to Jim, and Jim is not going to like me anymore. He's gonna lose respect for me. These are the things I'm talking about. So if I train my thoughts, for the most part, I am going to show up out there interacting in a way that I'm pleased with, and the person who I'm interacting with, they are pleased as well. Training. I understand this is not something that we were taught to do, at least unless you are trying to make something or something like that, or you know, training for a fight, training to play football and basketball and all that stuff. Nothing is wrong with any of that. But you hardly ever hear anybody say train your thoughts. They will tell you watch your mouth, watch what you say, and so forth, and that's true. But by just sitting down and watching what you say, it's very difficult to do. Of course, you can keep on catching yourself over time. But intentional practice, deliberate practice, being like, this is how I am going to speak now, is far different. You can think about saying the right thing to other people, and that's fine. But I don't want you to just think only. I want you to, you must be active. So you must be sharp and ready to go when you're having interactions. Where we do not want to say the wrong thing at all. Right? It can screw things up and it can mess things up for us, especially if we are trying to win friends and influence people. And we just might say the wrong thing, and this is the person who was going to pull some strings for us, and now we screw it up because of our negative way of speaking, right? So weak thoughts, negative thoughts, hostility, bitterness, resentment, anger, hatred, weak thoughts. And we do not want to be speaking like that. Wake up early in the morning, and I want you to get out. If you are going to read books, I want you to look for the smallest book you possibly can find. Look for the smallest book. I want you to go look for light, small materials. And this is why I said, because, prosperity affirmations, positive affirmations, prayers, quotes, and personal development materials. These can be easy. You can access these with ease. You don't need to go dig up the library to find these things, right? And you're going to use that as a training manual, right? You're going to use that as your training manual. This is what you focus on daily. This is what you are going to do every single day. Train your thoughts, save your life, especially if you are struggling with anger. That's the quickest time for you to cause trouble in your life. It's very difficult for you not to say the wrong thing when you're angry and bitter. Things just come out of your mouth. And people are observing you and they are watching you. And if they have any intention of helping you, they might cancel that. Right? We don't want to do that at all. Right? So, get into the habit of training your thoughts. And also, combine with that, I want you to go down to the gym. Get in shape. That's another one. Do I have to be in shape? Not really, but you probably should, right? You want to be taken seriously. Get into the gym. Go for a run as well while you're at it. Get fit, get healthy. Get in shape, stay in shape. Get fit, stay fit. Get healthy, stay healthy. Get on the grind and stay on the grind. You know what I mean? So don't forget, these are the things that we want you to do, and, train your thoughts and train your life. All right. That was a good session there. And Ryan here with a new video. Looking forward to talk to you soon in a brand new video. And this is the journey that I'm on. And I want to invite you to come on this journey here so we can all change together. We need more people doing these things and saying these things out there. We talk to people every single day, but we don't train our thoughts. When that dawned on me, I was not shocked, but I'm like, why I haven't thought of this before? Why I haven't thought of this? I thought about training my body because I'm doing it for 466 days now. I know about training my mind. I get that. But why I have never thought about training my thoughts? I didn't understand it at all. So I said, all right, one more thing to put on my plate here, training my thoughts. So when I'm talking to you, it's going to be nothing but healthy interaction. All right. This is so that we can live peacefully with others, and we can cultivate and develop these invisible assets. Love, kindness, caring, affection. We can develop these things. Trust, that's a big one. Like and trust and love, these are invisible assets. We want to cultivate those, develop those. One of the best way how to do those is training your thoughts. It's very difficult for you not to say the right thing to the other person when you train your thoughts. People want to be around you. They love how you talk. They just, gravitate towards you. Your friends begin to want to be around you. Your friend group expands. People love you, you love them. They want to be around you, you want to be around them as well. All right. So don't forget, folks, every day when you get up, I want you to do some work on training your thoughts. Personal development materials, prosperity affirmations, positive affirmations, and prayers and quotes. Those materials, the reason why specifically I name those, they don't carry any bit of hostility in them. And that's where you get your thoughts from those materials. Beautiful thoughts, positive thoughts. You get it from those materials. And you're going to start speaking like that, like those materials. In the beginning, yes, you're going to sound like them. Later on, that will change and you start sound more like yourself. If you are struggling with anger and all of that, rage, bitterness, you need to change. This is how you change. All right. Ryan here with a new video. Looking forward to see you soon in a brand new video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Help out your boy to get out into the YouTube universe. Help these videos to get out into the YouTube universe. Success is more simpler than we think sometimes. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's simple. The things that we should work on sometimes are not big, massive things. They are simple things like training your thoughts. It's part of success, right? I know it's not. And I know it. So what does this have to do with the $1 million in a bank account? Could be a lot until you start doing the work, you start seeing the results. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. Some people just don't know how to talk to other people. They are mean, they are rude, they say stuff to you the wrong way. They talk about you, they talk bad about you, they talk to you crazy. Some people just don't know. They don't know how to speak in a healthy way. I feel sorry for those people. And we are trying, not trying, we do not want to be like that. We are working our butt off to get away from that. All right? So, talk to you soon in a new video. Don't forget to let more people know that I'm talking about these things. Appreciate y'all. Bye for now.